This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you'd type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. I talk each time about struggling with the audience. I don't know who my audience is, but I have good reason to believe it includes Postmates people, both in and out of New York, and other people who listen because they listen. So I decided, and there's Postmates people who are watching this for very specific reasons. I sense it in a conversation I had with a fellow Postmates person. I believe his name is Daryl. I saw him for the second time. Nice guy. We had good conversations each time. Again, these are real short, kind of fly-by conversations, but no doubt a conversation I would like to have in more depth, just no time. So first time was at 16 Handles in the past week, and then tonight at by Chloe. So he asked, how many have you had? And I'm like, like total or tonight? He said, tonight. I said 5, and he had 6. I didn't want to tell him it wasn't tonight. I had been at it all day. So again, I find over and over again that people are doing more deliveries than me. Again, he has his own bike. I have a share bike. I go at a pace that is not especially fast. And there's a number of things I do I'm not breaking speed records. My calculations, I'm going to share my screen. I'm trying. So anyways, that's what I quantified for Daryl, and I'm going to do that now. I had 7 deliveries tonight with 1 payout cancellation. Now, the payout cancellation includes a story that I think is worth hearing. So right here is my payouts 24 hours ago. So the app said I got paid total at the end of my work last night, $2,070. Well, tonight that number is only $10 higher, but yet I think I'm like $70 higher. I don't understand that. This was a new way to look at it. That is a total payouts 24 hours ago. So the total payouts now minus 2070 is only $10, and I had more than $10. I'll show that in a minute. So that's something I'm going to be working on. Hopefully I'll have clarification in that. I don't think there's any reason I'll have it figured out tomorrow, but in time to come I will. This is a tweet late last night. This is where a church burned. I was right here when I discovered that the fire trucks weren't just going to a false alarm. This whole city that erupted into the sound of fire trucks also came with the smell of smoke. And a passerby told me. So there's my, anyways, this is this morning, blah, blah, blah. There's my cafe this morning. That is in my barrio. So then I get into the city and I go online at 1:11. I had some gaps today. So then I got Shake Shack. It doesn't look like it there, but I'll show it in a minute. This is me at Port Authority Bus Terminal. So I get my first delivery assignment at 1:13, and then I'm getting paid here at 2:23. It took me an hour to do that. That seems long. So then so here I am again, idle. I usually tweet this screen when I am idle. So here at 2:23, yeah, there it is. 2:23 I got paid. Now I tweet this screen. I'm idle. Postmates people, I will try to direct E for everyone or P for Postmates. Postmates people, this is me this is a strategy to get jobs. went to Juice Press on 55th Street in Midtown Manhattan. This is a reliably popular place. So look at the elapsed time here, 2:23. I am sitting on my Postmate ass till there. I'm idle. I keep losing track of it. 2:23, I think it says. So I'm idle beginning at 2:23, done with my first delivery. I'm online. 2:23. And there I go. Look at that. 4 o'clock. That's more than 90 minutes. I got Five Guys burgers. That's a disaster. Now, again, it's in the middle of the afternoon. It's slow time. So I get Five Guys burger. I did this as a note to myself. The order had all these special requests, and I know enough because I know who orders this stuff, and I think I know a feminine order. Well, the woman who's operating the cash register called the customer a she, but this female cash register operator had no knowledge that the customer was a she, other than that it was a girly order. So I am thinking that gender is obvious in some of the orders, and this Five Guys burger cash register operator, she thinks the same thing. Oh, there it is. Extra ketchup mayo on the side. Add toppings, ketchup. Add toppings, mayo. Whatever. I just think I want to try to order things for myself that aren't conspicuously feminine. So this is one of the ones that the cash register operator thinks is feminine, and I did too. There's me getting paid for Five Guys, and another torturous long gap, 4:34. There's 4:30. There's me, same thing, me getting paid, 4:34, me declaring I'm idle, 4:34. Now look at how long I have to wait. I start jerking around with the schedule. I get some time that I wanted, and what do you know? I get a ticket for crashing a red light on my share bike. Piss me off. Listeners, I will tweet and blog and tell the story of my ticket at a later date. Right now I'm just too pissed off about it. So there, I'm still idle after my ticket. Here I'm still idle. And then this I had to do, I lost my screen, so I had to go back to this. So 6:11, I became active again. So look at all this. On my ass again at Juice Press, only a different Juice Press. Now I'm down in the East Village. This is me declaring that I'm idle. This is the ticket. This is the ticket. Blah, 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 blah. So here we go. 4:34. I'm done with Five Guys. And 6:11, I'm active again. Is that 90 minutes or so? It's not 2 hours. Damn. Two huge, that's 3 hours of idle time in the city today. Bad. Disastrous. Moving on, and me getting paid for that job that I did. Press Juicery. Now, please, Postmates people, I hope I have more than zero listening. This is really a story I want you to hear. I have a feeling I was able to jerk the fleet support person around in ways that younger people probably can't. I would just, forgive me for this age bias, but I could just hear younger people on the phone with the idea that the fleet support people are authority. Well, they're really not. And sometimes their judgment isn't as good as what I think mine is. So here we go. Here's the story. Postmates people, please listen to this. Juice Press, I get there, they're out of 2 items. I call the customer, leave a voicemail, wait 5 minutes. I call for fleet support, they're out of 2 items. Called the customer, waited 5 minutes, now I'm calling you. Okay, I'll call the customer. All right, you want me to find alternatives before you call the customer? Yes. So with that, I went back inside, got alternatives. Fleet support person calls the customer. There's a pretty long gap, and I get a call back. Tom, I wasn't able to reach the customer. We're going to substitute, and he makes these substitutions. Instead of green 3, which was ordered, and green 1 and green 1.5, and green 5 and green 6 were all available, he decided which ones to choose. And he also decided which one to choose for the citric as an alternative without reaching the customer. So I'm like, okay, and now I get 15 minutes into this thing. I'm pissed. And I said to I'm trying not to say the fleet support person's name. I said to him, amigo, I used his name. I said to him, amigo, can my opinion get registered here? Is my opinion relevant? So he let me talk, and I said, listen, this place looks like a science lab, and there's 6 different versions of green health cocktail smoothie concoctions that are offered, and people have preferences. This is a fussy clientele. I think the customer being unavailable and us thinking we can guess and get it right is a poor choice. The customer's not reachable. I could get there, and he or she, I didn't see the person's name at this point. I said he or she might be unavailable. I can't reach it. I can't make the delivery. And next thing we know, we bought these juice, and then I get stuck with these cocktails. I have to give them away or drink them. And I don't want to do that. So do you have the authority to cancel it? And he said, yes, I do. I said, I propose you cancel it. Will you consider it? And he said, yes, I will. And in seconds later, he said, okay, you're right. I'll cancel it. So I was thrilled. I put the phone and I start riding away. Postmates people, you know the sound. It's a distinctive sound when it cancels. I can't mimic it right now, but you know it. When the orders are canceled, there's this attempt to, I think it's the loudest thing our phone does. And so I'm not even off the block yet. I'm a few storefronts away, and I get that noise. This amigo Postmates guy canceled it. Well, now I'm still not off the block, but a few storefronts further, and I already have a new order. So this was 100% absolutely positively the right thing to do. The fleet support person changed his mind agreeably. He realized that my proposal was better than the one he had chosen, and this was a success. If the person wants to reorder, he or she can now catch up with the text and realize, oh, I got canceled. Oh, they don't have it. Okay, I'll deal with it. Maybe he or she will call the juicery, press juicery, and find out what they have and then order something that they have. There's so many things that can happen once the customer turns his or her attention to the order. And the fleet support person and I were not in a position to make this decision. I pressured this fleet support person and got myself cut loose. I was thrilled. Postmates people, please, these fleet support people seem to be in a position of authority, but they are not. They're just like us with a comparable amount of training. Now, this person does have the authority to, the person I talk to has the authority to cancel an order, and I know some of the other people I've talked to have to go to someone like him to cancel the order. So he has, more authority than other people on the phone, but some of the people on the phone literally have no authority and really no training. I'm not claiming they're incompetent. I'm just telling you, Postmates people, please don't put them on a higher level of authority. They might be wrong, and they might be willing to take your better solution. Mine in this case was clearly better. So here's another order. This is the one I got seconds after The Postmate, the fleet support canceled my juice pressery. There's another success on the schedule. I'm getting the hours I want when I want them. And then there's my final order, Meatball Shop. Meatball Shop is paid. There I go offline. 9:33, I was done. Took me forever to get home. I went to Hoboken, and there's my 2080. It's only $10 higher than it was 24 hours ago. I don't understand that. I, of course, don't like it. I want to check and trace my jobs through and see if I'm getting paid for everything, but that's a pretty tedious process, and I'm going to do it in the days to come. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao. In my idle time today, again, I had about 2-3 hours of idle time. I did some audio blogging on SoundCloud. Today was a very thorough article from Vox.com about the Puerto Rico financial crisis. Very interesting. It does a tour of history and a lot of details about the current situation. Puerto Rico's in the headlines because they're defaulting on their loans. And that was announced in a plan to default and not make payments to debt on Monday. Ciao.